all started with that damn dirty Dominic Mysterio and his moustache and Liv Morgan being all happy as they walked into the arena. And I was like, I can't get over this guy. This Dominic, he did a heel turn when he was already a heel, which means he went double heel. And I'm sorry, if you know anything about the history of professional wrestling, you never go double heel. Also, hello my friends, and welcome to the review show of Monday Night Raw with me, Simon Miller. And these things get longer and longer because there are so many segments, so let's just take the finger of power, which is this. Give the good bits an up and the bad bits are down. It was happy times to start Raw though, kinda, depending on how you feel about this man, but Ludwig Kaiser was back. He was introducing our brand new World Heavyweight Champion Gunther. This dude just cracks me up. At one point, he definitely just made this noise. Brrr, and everybody was cool with it. Gunther also got on the microphone and went through all of his accolades, including how long he was the Intercontinental Champion for, and basically said, man, you thought all that shit was good. You wait and see what I'm going to do with this belt. And even though he's meant to be a bad guy, I'm like, Gunther, I hope you hold it forever. In fact, I hope I die, get resurrected, and I tune into Raw. He still has the belt. And nobody's going to surprise him, nobody's going to shock him, and nobody's going to catch him off guard, because he is bringing legacy and legitimacy back to this championship. There ain't nothing you can do about it. WWE then continued their current kind of new trend of long-term storytelling though. So I was doing the dance of joy because Randy Orton's music hit. At first I was just chuckling like, that brand split is just a fictional thing that exists in our head. Gunther made me laugh as well because he must believe in the sanctity of the draft. She was like, well, I made a mistake. This has caught me off guard. I was like, Gunther, this doesn't serve well for your promises. That one only lasted 5 minutes. Of course, Randy has beef with Gunther though, so he was bringing the mustard because the only reason he is the brand new World Heavyweight Champion is because what happened at King of the Ring, and I'm sorry, we all saw the footage. Fine, Gunther did beat Randy Orton, but were his shoulders down on the mat properly for the 1, 2, 3? 9. Now he does accept that the referee's decision is final, but he also knows that Triple H wants to rectify this. I was just giving them a round of applause. I think we all got worked, people. So bravo to them. He even compared this to a potential Ric Flair versus Ricky Steamboat feud. And he was all like, man, you want to walk around calling yourself a modern day legend? Well, that works for me, because once upon a time, I used to be the legend killer. He did. That's what he used to do, kill legends. And apparently we're meant to support this. Therefore, Randy would like to walk out of Gunther's hometown of Germany at Bash at the Berlin as the brand new World Heavyweight Champion. Let's not forget that Gunther's home country is Austria. Moving on. Now, Gunther did admit he hated the way that King of the Ring match did finish because it besmirched his honor when it was all like, man, Randy, you listening to those voices in your head and you really shouldn't because they're wrong. I was like, wait a minute. So the voices in Randy's head are no longer just part of his theme song and are actually WWE law. Got it. They then did shake hands, and if you watched the TV portion, you heard what they chatted about off camera, because they were essentially saying, oh man, you're going to hit me with an RK out of nowhere. And Orton was like, nope, I want you to see this one coming. It's like, Randy, it's a stupid idea. If you do hit out of nowhere, you're probably going to win. This was so damn simple though, which is the name of the game at the moment, but that's why it works. Everybody and everything they said here made perfect sense. It was 2 + 2 = 4, and because they are mega stars, this match is going down in 3 weeks, and I am feeling excited in my Tootsie Toes. That's all you need to do. Don't need to swerve everything all the time, which people keep going on about. Giving it up. Sheamus then told Ludwig Kaiser and Pete Dunne they are a couple of idiots, but he understands what they are doing. They're trying to use Sheamus' name to become bigger stars. Turns out he was telling the truth too, because he did get to the ring, and he was taking on Ludwig Kaiser, and he whooped this guy's ass. They fought out the ring instantly when all of a sudden Ludwig was like, wait a minute, I don't have any morals. So he feigned an injury, given that he's only just come back from an injury, and Sheamus bought it, and yeah, it was a lie. And Kaiser popped him right in the face. Now this totally works for me because it means we can bring back a counter that I debuted at SummerSlam. And it is the morally acceptable counter, which means if you do something that is not morally acceptable, so it should be the immorally acceptable counter, but that sounds terrible, it goes up by 1. And there's no surprise that Ludwig Kaiser wanted to do this. His dad is flipping Baszler. Sheamus didn't really care because he just absorbed a headbutt and came back with a white noise for a 1-2-ooh. When that didn't work, he locked in the cloverleaf, and Kaiser had to get to iron ropes. The 10 beats then followed, which is when Peter Dunne did turn up. But once again, he has a very succinct plan here. He must hit Sheamus with the shillelagh. I'll be like, Pete, come here. Just hit him with anything, man. It doesn't have to be like tied into where he's from. It failed miserably as Sheamus just took him out with a big knee. And even though Kaiser almost won when he attacked from behind, Sheamus was just like, nah, bruh. today's my day. He hit him with the bro kick, 1, 2, 3. So this was just really fun stuff. I do want to see what we're going to do with Ludwig here, because I was a bit surprised he did lose, but we have the Pete Dunne effect as well. And I'm just like in love with Sheamus at this point. I don't know what that means, but he just brings me so much joy when he does these matches. Giving it up. We've then got a quick video reminding you that the Wyatt 6 will make their proper debut later, when we're also told that Roman Reigns does very good social media numbers. Got it. It's also time for our brand new hero to come to the ring, because here was Damian Priest, and he was so damn mad. I mean, you would be. He got dicked over by his best friend. Because he said that while Finn may call himself a prince, he is nothing more than a coward, because look, he's not out here right now, and he knows his backstory. He knows how Damian Priest did grow up, but now he doesn't have to be alone anymore, because even though he's lost the Judgment Day, he has all of these fans. I was like, what a flipping kiss ass. Eventually Balor did sort of appear, but he was on a big screen in a dark room. I was like, Finn, just pay the bill. It was really good though, because he doesn't think that he betrayed Damian Priest at all. And in fact, it was the other way around, because let's not forget, a year ago, it was Damian that stuck his oar in Balor's business when he had that world title match, and he actually screwed him over. And what did Damian say to him after that? You better man up. I was like, man, this is really good storytelling, because once again, you get rewarded for watching and staying tuned. Therefore, Finn did wait a whole 12 months before he decided to get his own back. So man, that's a huge round of applause. And bring it down, it's the Hater of the Year board. It's time for an update. Now, number 1 is still Drew McIntyre, because obviously. Number 2 is CM Punk, because he did fly around the world to screw over Drew. Number 3 is AJ Styles, because he also did that, but then he also faked a retirement to get to Cody Rhodes. So actually, you should probably flip those last 2 around. New at number 4, though, is Finn Balor with his brand new record. I am going to wait 12 months and then really stab you in the back. I mean, that's some good hating. And in at 5 as well is also AEW's Darby Allin. Let's not forget, at the end of the Blood and Guts match, he was literally going to kill someone just to win a match. Balor also now think Damian Priest is nothing more than street trash, so he must have been talking to Gunther, to the point he's not going to fight him. And instead, JD McDonagh is going to step in, because you, Damian, were mean to him since day 1, and McDonagh deserves it. Finn also sent Damian a warning, saying, man, I am just going to keep waiting and waiting and waiting, and as soon as you do forget about me, I will strike again. So I was like, Priest, you're totally screwed here. Now you've got a stalker. It is wonderful trolling though, and the best part was, at the end of this, the brand new Judgment Day with Carlito, Liv Morgan, and Dominic Mysterio appeared behind him, and the whole crowd booed straight away. This is really good stuff. Priest then decided to storm to the back, probably because he was done with these buttholes. And what I really like here is that we have explained why he's not going back after his World Heavyweight Championship. In fact, he even said that, listen, I can win that back at any time, but this is a matter of the heart, pal, and I gotta sort my emotions. Priest just feels like the absolute man at the moment too. What a 2024 he's had. Giving it up. When we had the best tease, especially because we also got a payoff. The Bronson Reed found Adam Pearce and he was pissed, because he's like, wait a minute, I defeated Sheamus last week and he's getting matches and I'm not. What is the deal? Now Pearce didn't seem interested in any of this, so Reed was like, ha, fine, I will invent my own Google Maps and I will take my own path. I'm just going to tell you this, that dude ain't lying. When Lyra Valkyria defeated Shayna Baszler in 2 minutes via disqualification. Oh no. Now this wasn't it, and not only because of what happened on this night, but I just don't think WWE is pumping enough TLC into this. And actually, they are the enemy of their own creation, because again, they're doing so well with so many other stories. This has all the potential in the world, but we're not doing enough with it. Lyra did hit her finisher though, when Sonya, Deville and Zoe Stark just got in there to cause the disqualification. Let's not forget, as she has come up, we stand Zoe Stark on this show. They did whip all the ass as well until the Damage Control came out to make the save. But the thing is, if you had left Raw here to make yourself a nice sandwich, you probably would have missed it. So look, it's no fault of their own, and once again, I'm going to use that word. I do think they have all the potential, and I like the fact of faction versus faction, but we just need a little bit more promo time, and a reason for us to go, that's why they're fighting. I totally get it, as opposed to at the moment where it's a bit like, well, you're 3 people, and you're 3 people, so why don't you go to war? But I shall still keep my fingers crossed, but down. When, yes, we bring in the crime counter. Because we had a video with the Final Testament where Karrion Kross said, hey, New Day, tonight you die. Well, no, he said that we're all going to witness their death. That's still a crime. Again, don't do this. But if you go out to the streets and you say that to someone, you shall end up in jail. There it is, the wonderful crime counter, which people very much enjoy, which makes me happy. goes up by 1. I do want to point out that Karrion Kross is very good at these, and I hope we do more with him in the future, when WWE was clearly like, we don't want anybody to tune out. So who did we see walk into the ring? It was one CM Punk. Before that though, we saw Ivy Nile hanging out with the Creeds when Maxine Dupree walked in. She's like, listen, Ivy, ever since all this nonsense with Chad Gable, you don't get in touch with me anymore. And I was like, it's not my fault, it's these Creeds, they've gone crazy. That doesn't make any sense. Chad Gable also interrupted and basically told Ivy to stop talking to Maxine because he is nuts, when from nowhere he just went, hey, you know what? You can keep the Alpha Academy name. So I didn't realise that was an issue. He also promised that his team was going to defeat the Wyatt Six later, and he was lying when started. That wasn't me throwing up. It was the arrival of CM Punk. He got mega popped and even congratulated Bilal Muhammad for his win at UFC the other week. I was like, man, that was interesting, but the UFC tie-in continues. CM even said he's still feeling good even though he lost at the weekend because he has the fans behind him. And look, this has been the story of his life. He gets knocked down, he gets back up again, which actually annoys a lot of people backstage, because anytime you think you can count the punker out, he's back. For example, his tricep injury was meant to keep him out for 9 months, but he came back in 5, and just when he was about to start his summer of hate, that damn Drew McIntyre went and made all this personal. It just means that now he can hit reset though, because he wants a round 2 with Drew, because everybody is probably done hearing CM Punk talk, and we want to see him fight. Look, you can't fault anything he did say here. He had these people in the palm of his hand. He also went after McIntyre again, because he's like, you told me you were going to keep on beating me until my heart stops beating, but I can hear it right now, even though I don't have a stethoscope, and it's still going ba-boom. So I sat there, and I waited for Drew, but I didn't get him, and instead I got Cowboy Seth Rollins. Now this was most definitely strange because it meant the guy was just standing behind the curtain for 10 minutes going, I shall leave when I'm good and ready. And even though he kind of had silly clothes on, I think a lot of the haters will have enjoyed this because he was more super serious Seth Rollins here, and he made it very clear. He was like, hey CM Punk, I have waited to do this. I'm about to put you in the dirt. Crime counter goes up by 1. That means he's gonna kill him. They're about to trade blows as well, and my gosh, the fans wanted this when Drew McIntyre arrived to raid on their parade, and he was in the flipping crowd. He was so happy though, because he did beat CM Punk, and old Seth Rollins had to make the count. And listen, Punk, while you did do a great job and you still got it, you're no longer the best in the world. That title belongs to me. So he is such a wonderful dick, especially because he was like, oh, I still have this bracelet too, with your wife and dog's name on it. And as soon as he showed this, CM Punk just ran up the ring into the crowd to try and get this guy. So many people are ragging on this bracelet storyline. I love it. We have told everybody over and over again, this means something to CM Punk. So just imagine something in your life that has sentimental value. It's the same thing. It's actually very relatable. It also wonderfully tied into earlier, because it meant Seth was stood there like a sore thumb going, what I'm meant to do now? Where Bronson Reed lived up to his promise, because he got in there, and I kid you not, he melted this guy. I mean, talk about heating somebody up from nowhere, because he just bludgeoned him, and he threw him on the ground, and hit 1 tsunami, 2 tsunami, 3 tsunami, 4, 5 tsunami, 6 tsunami, 7, maybe more. I mean, that may be an exaggeration, but the fans totally bought into this. And then we cut to Seth Rollins' mouth, and he had even eaten some ketchup, or he was bleeding. It was just marvelous stuff though, because of course it's another way to keep Seth Rollins' distraction before he does get back involved with CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. And also, once more, Bronson all of a sudden feels like the most terrifying guy in WWE, and we achieved that in 2 minutes. All the security guards are out there too trying to calm this man down, which they eventually did do. But honestly, I am very excited to see how we move this thing going to the future. And if we do Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed at Bash at the Beach, Bash in Berlin, I'm totally fine with that. Jackie Redmond also had an update on this afterwards because Seth Rollins had gone to a local medical facility, and Adam Pearce was like, oh, they're right about this, can't believe it's happened. When CM Punk walked in, he couldn't care less. He's like, yes, I need to kill Drew McIntyre. When he got very sad news, McIntyre had been removed from the building. Now, if I was CM, I wouldn't have believed this at all, because do you remember when Adam Pearce said the same thing about Bron Breakker? Turned out that was absolute nonsense. When the Final Testament New Day continued, and I'm actually glad we did throw something new into this, because it was getting to a point where I wasn't really sure on the direction. It was Kofi and Xavier taking on the Authors of Pain though, and of course at one point Karrion Kross was interfering. That allowed Razor to throw his weight around. I was like, man, for a bunch of people that go on preaching like, oh my gosh, we're the Final Testament, you don't have a lot of manners. Now it seemed like all was done for the New Day and they were going to be killed. But I think somebody in WWE management went, oh man, we called up Odyssey Jones like 6 months ago and we forgot to do anything with him. we suck. But he must have been backstage for like the 30th Raw in a row where finally he decided, no, I cannot take this anymore. This is not good for me, and he ran out to make the save. But I tell you, he's another guy that got over in about 3 seconds. Because Razar couldn't handle the fact that something was happening outside of the ring, so he was just spinning around as if he was Kylie Minogue. And as soon as Karrion Kross got taken out, my hero Xavier Woods hit the most devastating move in all of sports entertainment, the surprise roll-up or the backwards. And he got the 1, 2, 3. Even when the AOP tried to beat them all up afterwards, Odyssey was back and he gave them both back suplexes. That was it. He instantly became my favorite wrestler. That's how fast it happens. There is definitely something to this as well, because Kofi Kingston was having the time of his life, but Xavier was like, well, no one told me about this. When we also had a backstage segment, and yeah, Kofi had to introduce Odyssey Jones to Xavier Woods, who didn't seem like a happy pup at all. So I do enjoy we still have all this sexual tension here. I'm not entirely sure how it goes. I still don't believe we're going to break up the New Day. But am I a bit worried? You damn right I am. Let's get it up. JD McDonagh then got mad at Damian Priest because he was like, man, look at you. The only reason you were champion for so long was because of the Judgement Day, and then it was you who turned your back on us. He also told Damian he's going to make him suffer later. I was like, bro, that could mean anything. Maybe you're going to get him to watch the arrival of the gobbledygooker. I mean, I've suffered through that before. This is when we did get that New Day segment, and I should have told you at the time as well. This ended when the Alpha Academy walked in there, and they all did a dance. I had a moment where I was like, did I see that? Or have I just taken a bunch of drugs? When Grayson Waller and Austin Theory defeated the Miz and R-Truth. Now first I was going to go ballistic about this, but actually we were told that Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce have done a bit of a dealy deal here, and 2 people will also be heading to SmackDown. And I wonder who that can be. You're going to find out. I mean, it's really interesting because we have already planted the seeds that A-Town Down Under are eventually going to break up, but WWE is taking its time. But if we use this match, it sounds like the Awesome Truth is going to break up too. So after a big old schmoz, we got to the final couple of minutes here, and just when R-Truth was about to give Grayson Waller the AA, he spun him round, meaning the shoes whacked the Miz right in the face, and he must have been hit hard because he fell out the ring. The problem was, Grayson wasn't a legal man, that was Austin Theory, so he snuck in like he was about to do a burglary. He hit the A-Town Down, whatever his flipping finisher is called, on R-Truth. And he won. Now we made sure we had a close-up of the Miz's face here, and he was all like, sad panda, I can't believe this has happened. So yes, we do need to keep our eye on this, and if it somehow ends with both teams breaking up, well, that's like new ground. So it's kind of hard to give it an up or a down, because I need to know how it's going to go throughout the weeks. But hey, it's a positive Pete show, and it was a good angle for what it was, as long as we follow up on it. So I'll give it an up. Damian Priest was then here responding to JD McDonagh, and he said, 1, you got a stupid head, and 2, I'm gonna send you to hell. That's nice. He bought him a vacation. Kevin Kelly was also chatting to Bron Breakker after this, and you know the deal. Now he is the Intercontinental Champion. He's got a target on his back. Now, Bron didn't care about any of this because all these idiots keep talking about the fact, oh man, they've held this title for so many days. Well, let's look at some real statistics here. He debuted less than 3 years ago, and not only has he been NXT champion, but now he's the IC champ too. He's also the hunter, and now everybody else is the hunted when Triple H walked in and said, knock it off. That bit didn't happen. He finished by saying that this belt was born for him, and man did I get mad. I was like, Breakker, it was right there. You should say that it's Bron for you. You went and let us all down. When we got another DQ, I did not think we needed to, but it rhymed, therefore it must be true. I did a 3. I really did like the story though, which went way above all of this, because it was JD McDonagh taking on Damian Priest. And because Carlito was on the outside just going crazy, poor old Damo was basically fighting 2 people. Eventually went outside, and he punched Carlito right in the face. And then McDonagh was able to throw him into the ring post and hit him with a big old moonsault. We made a terrible decision. He slapped Damian in the head. I was like, dude, this guy's from the streets, and it hit his go by, and the Priest went crazy. So he gave him the Falcon Arrow and threw him over Alan the announce table when he went after Carlito again. I was like, Carl, you brought this on yourself. And just when he was gonna win with a big old choke slam, Finn Balor made good on his promise, because he was being a stalking Steve, and he got in there and attacked. That's what caused the DQ. It was so damn cool though, because Priest was so mad he must have activated his secret Phoenix down, because he rose from the ashes here, and he was going to kill Finn Balor, he was going to kill JD McDonagh, he was going to kill Carlito. So out came Liv Morgan and Dominic Mysterio with his moustache to all the boos. But even then, Damo was just throwing hands. I was like, that's it, he's the best. Eventually it was way too much though, because you can't keep up with the wrestling numbers game, so once again, we just kept it simple, stupid. And who came out to make the save? To just a thunderous noise. It was Rhea bloody Ripley. She wasn't messing either, because she grabbed Liv and threw her over and over again into Rhea the ring post. And just when she was about to hurl her through Alan the announce table, of course, who popped up behind them to make the save? It was the damn condom. So oh how far we've come given that visual alone. And as always, even though we have had a shift, poor JD was left alone in the ring, and after Rhea gave him a smack, Damian Priest gave him maybe the best chokeslam I have ever seen in my entire life. You need to go and watch it right now. Priest and Ripley then hugged as the crowd went ballistic for this, so who even cares about what came before? This whole Judgment Day Civil War is so damn good, and it has resulted in the babyface arrivals of Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, and I can feel it in my knees. I want them to do really well. And it's like Batman and the Catwoman or something less nerdy, because I am an idiot, but I'm excited about this. That's the point. Sonya Deville and her friends then made sure to beat up Damage Control backstage, and they made sure to go after Dakota Kai and her knee. And I hope Dakota is okay, because this took her out of a match that was going to be next. Let's just hope it was storyline. So once again, there really is something to all of these teams warring. We just need a little bit more. And Sonya then did go to the ring, and I think she was going to go, ha ha, I get the victory anyway, when the rest of Damage Control went out and said, no, you can take on Io Sky instead. I am not Io Sky. Sky was also going to do a dive at one point, but Stark grabbed her by the leg, which is when Sonya was able to get back in there and rough her up. The whole time I was like, I actually know who's going to win here, so at least we had a little bit of jeopardy. Deville then ragged her around for a while, gave her this crazy knee right in the face, which for some reason made me laugh. When Sky proved that she had been watching Shoulder Slam at the weekend, because she got out the way, and yes, Sonya went right into the turnbuckle and she was screwed. Io Sky also hit this awesome dropkick for a 1-2, and when she got the double knee, Zoe Stark was there, and she just grabbed Sonya Deville's foot and put it on the ropes, so we were having a bunch of shenanigans. That actually didn't matter at all though, because Sky and Kairi Sane then climbed to the top, they dove on everyone, when somehow Sonya was on the floor, so Io Sky hit the moonsault, and she got the Uno Dos Tres. This is all very, very strange. But it was good work overall, so I shall give it an up. I don't need to give it another down because we've already talked about it. But yes, I think if WWE could just sit down with this and give it an extra bit of love, well, it's going to rise to the next level, and we certainly are able to do it. When Sami Zayn and Ilya Dragunov were having the best conversation ever. Because Ilya was like, listen, I know I've been away from Raw for a while, but I wanted to come find you, Sam, and say, don't worry about your championship. You will get it back, and you are an amazing champion. You're inspiring. Sami said, listen, Ilya, one day you'll be champion too, and you're going to be amazing. I was like, why don't you both just get a room? Sami Zayn was so damn upset that eventually Jey Uso arrived, and to try and cheer him up, he had a bunch of strippers. No, he didn't. I don't know. I don't know why I said it. I'm sorry. It turned out that Sami was being a right dick, though, because he was pretending to be upset, which is what all great friends do, because he does have his title match next week, or his rematch. I actually think it's going to be 2 out of 3 falls, oodle alley. They're also going to go after the Tag Team Championship, because of course they did beat the Judgment Day last week, or 2 weeks ago, whatever the hell it was, so that makes all the sense. So Jay was pumped, maybe they can become double champions. The most important part of this is that they are back together again, and why did we do that? Because Roman Reigns is about to do some recruiting. I am excitement. Chad Gable then told us that he and the Creeds are not scared of the Wyatt Six. Well, they also gave them a new name for the group, and it's American Made. Then all of a sudden, if you listened in the background, you could hear some really crap riff-hop music. Let's just move on. So just ignore all of that, because it meant our main event was the Wyatt Six versus American Made. I thought this was terrific. Because the entrance for the Wyatts was just so damn good, and the presentation was so damn good, the way they came out was so damn good, I'm just gonna give it an up. Like, the wrestling was fine, and I did have a good time. But sometimes, as stupid as it sounds, wrestling isn't about wrestling, and the way they all arrived here, well, I just thought it totally ruled. There were no masks either, and Bo Dallas as Uncle Howdy was in the rocking chair on the outside, and Nikki Cross kind of watched the whole thing from like the floor. I was like, who the hell came up with that arrangement? The Six then quite literally used Dexter Lumis as a powerbomb projectile, and they threw them onto American Made when the absolutely best thing happened. Because do you know who the Wyatt Six got screwed over by? The commercial break. So that is it. I officially crown this as the most powerful force in all of sports entertainment, because it doesn't matter who you are or how mysterious you may be, you ain't Peter Andre. And as soon as the adverts do come, when we come back from said adverts, you're totally done. Because Chad Gable, for absolutely no reason, was then on top, which just meant that Eric Rowan had warmed his hand up. He got the hot tag, and he looked so damn good here. And he was paying homage to the late, great Brody Lee by doing some of his moves. I thought that was lovely. He literally threw Chad Gable over barricade too, so he was doing the opposite of Scorpion. He was like, get out of here. He also had the big win after the choke slam, but that's when the Creeds got involved to break it up, which is when Joe Gacy and Dexter Lumis took them out, which left Chad all alone by himself. So Joe Gacy picked up Lumis, he threw him onto Chad when Lumis ran over to the top of the turnbuckle, he hit a big splash, and he got the 1, 2, 3. And I know Chad took the loss here, but it's totally fine. You got to follow the story. The whole point of the Wyatt Six is they're going to get revenge against anybody who has dicked over their families, which is exactly what Chad Gable has done. But now he has got his comeuppance. You keep an eye on this. I think he's about to go crazy. It also meant the Raw finished with just the best shot of the Wyatts, and we've already talked about it. I don't care if they want to come out and just play checkers here. I'm a big fan of this group, and again, when we got to the in-ring work, it was dealt with perfectly. They're not all magic and spooky and scary. They are just some hard-hitting wrestlers who are gonna beat you up. So the whole thing was so damn simple, but also probably one of the best Raws of the year, so I am going to give it an up, and yeah, if you do want to go watch the highlights, I think you'll have a good time. It was a bit like the Raw after WrestleMania, but for SummerSlam, so the Raw after Hot WrestleMania. Also, please do leave me a comment below and let me know what you thought about last night's episode of Raw. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. Click the video on the screen, which is ups and downs for SummerSlam, so you can get my take on all of that as well. But otherwise, my friends, have a terrific wrestling day, and I will see you soon.